Porn is so accessible.
And of course, what has made it even more accessible is our personal devices.
The internet is like on everybody's smartphone, so everyone can have access to it.
The reality is it's growing, it's prevalent.
Porn has a capacity to impact your mind.
They call it the new drug because the effects of pornography is kind of like heroin in the sense that it's like this drug kick and then addictions can form.
Then I think we should be very careful about taking a person and turning him or her into an object.
Can we prevent exposure and addiction to porn?
How can we turn back and stay away from porn?
I'm not sure if you can really prevent the exposure part of it.
Honestly, if you want to prevent people, you go live in a cave somewhere for like 30 years of your life. But realistically, if you want to live in today's day and age, you will be exposed to pornography. If anything, I think it means preparing people, parents, children, young people to know how to respond, to deal with it once there is an addiction or once there's an unhealthy habit or behavior.
To kick an addiction, you need to replace an addiction.
I think finding things that keep you happy, like exercising, hanging out with friends. I think these help you to take your mind off things that people don't see, because porn is usually done in secret, I think, like in your room where no one sees you, no one can check on you. So I think if you're always with friends, you're not going to watch it.
Why do we not talk about this problem?
How can we help one another?
I think especially for us in Asian culture, shame factor is such a big factor.
Whatever that we do, we don't want to tell other people, and then we are afraid to get help from other people because we are afraid of being judged.
And our natural tendencies, we want to steer away from what is awkward, what is vulnerable, and what is uncomfortable. With that being said, I do think if our churches and if Christians can adopt a mindset of saying, hey, we're actually in this together, then we are more willing to talk about it as a church, as God's people.
We can never allow ourselves to talk from a place where I'm not vulnerable. I've never committed that kind of sin. Which means that if we want to talk about porn, we're going to have to be very open and honest and vulnerable and admit that we ourselves struggle with it.
To kick porn is not an overnight thing. It is a journey, and you have to allow people to fall back into it, but to get back on the track into that. To walk with someone on this issue, a close accountability, and just a constant dialogue with no shame, no condemnation factor, but just talk about it, just like any other sins that's involved, is very important to help someone to walk out into liberty, into this issue.
Be part of the solution.
Share this video now.